Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janae, and today we're going to do a story time of some of my personal paranormal experiences. So, I decided to do this video today because I saw Shanetta doing it, and I was like, yo, I got hella stories too. So, I wrote some of them down in my book, and I'll share them with you today. Okay, so the old house that I used to live in was super haunted. But that's irrelevant because literally nothing I'm going to tell you is from the old house because I don't remember any of it. But basically, okay, well, a lot of stuff happened, but I wasn't there. I'm not the one who experienced it. My family did. So I'd rather have them tell you if you want to hear their stories. They can tell you maybe if they want to talk to the camera. I don't know. But basically, that house was super haunted. And I think that whatever was at that house followed us to this house when we moved in here. At first, but I don't think it's here anymore because I don't experience anything anymore. Okay. No more experiences. So, most of what I'm going to tell you starts from when we first moved in. Okay. So, I don't know if it was the first day that we moved in or whatever, but I was setting up my room, this room. That's why my walls are still pink and purple because this is my childhood room. So when we first moved into this house, I think it was like either somewhere between 2004 and 2006. And I was like 7 or 8 or 9. 7, 8, or 9. One of those ages. So we moved in here and I was putting stuff in my closet, which is directly in front of me. So that's why I'm looking at it right now. So I was putting stuff in that closet. And I'm like throwing stuff to the top shelf. So how my closet looks is there's a shelf, and then there's like the things that you put the hanger on, like the rod for the hanger. So I was like throwing things up to the shelf. And then it was the last thing I threw. And then a few seconds later, it just got thrown back at me. Like, I'm not talking about gravity, like it threw it up and it fell. I threw it up there. It stayed there for like a few seconds and it got shot back down at me. So I got really scared and then I ran out of my room and yeah, I didn't sleep in here for like a good few years. Me and my sister actually like shared her room over there. And a lot of stuff happened in there too. I'll get to that. So yeah, that was the first thing that I experienced in this house. I don't know why I didn't tell my parents to move out right when that happened because you know how horror movies start? Like, you move into a house and then scary stuff happens, you tell them to leave, but when it happens to you, you don't leave. So, yeah. So, as I was saying, my sister and I shared her room because it was really scary. This house is just really scary. Hella stuff happened. So, we were too scared to sleep alone. So, we were sleeping in her room, or we were hanging out in her room actually. We weren't asleep yet. And then we hear like a knock on the door. Not like a knock. It was like a, no. Like a tap, like that. Okay, like. And I'm like, what? And then I just hear, I'm like, who is it? And then I hear, you know, like obviously it's not going to be a stranger. It would be like one of my parents. So I was like, what do you want? Because they told us always lock the door in your room. Don't open the door for anyone. Like, if someone comes in or whatever, you want to ask who it is. You want to know who it is before you open the door. So I hear, and I like go up to the door. I'm like, what do you want? And right after the knock, I open it. And there's no one there. Like, there was no time for anyone to knock on the door and run away. Like, I opened it right as the last knock was finishing and there was nobody there, dude. Like, I swear to you, that was so scary. So me and my sister like went to my parents' room and they were awake and they were like, what? And we were like, were you knocking on our door? And they were like, no. So then me and my sister slept on the floor in my parents' room that night. So yeah, me and my sister slept in my parents' room that night. So now, oh, wait a minute. I think we switched rooms. Yeah, we switched rooms with our parents that night. So we had our parents sleep in my sister's room, and then me and my sister slept in my parents' room. So the next morning comes, and I'm like awake, but my eyes are still closed because, like, you know, you don't want to get up yet when you wake up. So I'm like lying down there. And then as I'm sleeping, or I'm awake and I'm sitting down, the blanket gets yanked off me, and I'm not like, it's not like, you know, like when gravity like pulls the blanket, it's like slow. It was like, you know, in The Conjuring when her feet get yanked and she goes, ah. It was the blanket went like, bro. I was so scared. But my sister was next to me, so I was like, whatever. So I noticed that when scary things happen, if I'm not alone, I'm fine. But if I'm alone, then, you know. So, yeah, that happened. And then, so my parents' room is the master bedroom. So it's like their bedroom, and then you like turn the corner, and it's the bathroom. So back in the day, we didn't have laptops. So we had one desktop computer that we were sharing with the whole family, and I was playing like little video games. You know, the educational ones, like, not Reader Rabbit. Was it Reader Rabbit? I don't know. It was like those old, oh my god, that was so fun. Yeah, those old CD-ROM games. I was playing that in my parents' room. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see this black figure on the floor. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm staring at it. And this was before I got glasses, so I couldn't really see well. I mean, not, no, yeah. It was pretty far, but it was on the floor. It was like coming from the bathroom. I was at the computer, and then the TV was here, and then on the other side of the TV, I see the black figure. And I'm just staring at it. And then, I don't know what I expected. I guess I was trying to figure out what it was, right? So I'm like looking at it. And then it starts to move towards me. So I book it, dude. I like jumped out of my seat and I like ran out of that room and I ran to the stairs. And my sister was on the stairs and she was like, what happened? I didn't even talk to her. I just like zoomed, dude. I almost tackled her. I didn't even tell her. Like, she was going up the stairs. It could have attacked her and I didn't even tell her. How rude. I don't even know. When things happen, they just happen. You don't think about saving other people. You think about saving yourself. So, I stayed downstairs for I don't know how long that was. But, yeah, that was scary. So, a few years later, I think I'm in 8th grade. Pretty sure I'm in 8th grade. It's like 2009, I think. Yeah, it's October. Okay, so it's October, I think it's 2009. And my dad's mom passes away. So, in our family, I don't know if it's a Catholic thing or if it's a Filipino Catholic thing, but then we have like novenas, which is a 9-day prayer after a loved one passes away. So, after my grandma died, my mom's family came, because they live in, and we live in, wait, is it weird if I don't want to tell you guys what city I live in? Never mind. So, my mom's family lives about half an hour away from us. And, yeah, so my mom's family lives about half an hour away from us. And they were coming to the prayers too. And since it was every night for 9 days, instead of having them like drive over every night, they stayed with us at our house. And then Novena was at my grandma's house, which is 5 minutes away from here. Not gonna tell you what city it's in. But, so yeah, my dad's family lived really close, about 5 minutes away, and my mom's family lived about half an hour to an hour, depending on traffic. So they stayed with us, and then we all went together to my grandparents' house every night to do the prayer for 9 days. And the first night, so, what the heck? Okay, so it's in October. So my mom's mom stayed in my room. I don't know where I was. Like, why wasn't I in my room? I was somewhere in this house sleeping the first night. And then the next day, my grandma told me that my radio in my room kept turning on by itself the night before. And I was like, what the heck? So I was like, okay. So then it's the second night, and then the prayer happens. So me and my grandma are sleeping in my room, in this room. And then in the middle of the night, the radio turns on. And then we both wake up and we're like, and my grandma's like, Janae, turn it off. I'm like, okay. So then I get up and I turn it off and we go back to sleep. I don't know how much longer later it turns back on again. And my grandma's like, Janae, turn it off. Or just unplug it. She says, just unplug it so it doesn't turn back on. So I go over there and I unplug the radio. We go back to sleep. And then it turns back on. No, it didn't. But can you imagine, though, if it turned back on after it was unplugged? That would be wild. But no, it didn't turn back on after I unplugged it. That was the end of it. After I unplugged it, that was it. And it never turned back on because we never plugged it back in. And I actually just threw it away a few days ago. So, yeah. So it's October, and I'm in the part of the youth ministry at our church when I was in 8th grade. So we had this like annual haunted house that we set up. So we set it up for the community every year. Not anymore, unfortunately, but back in the day, we did this haunted house every year. So I was like, we set up for the whole month of October, I think. It takes a long time to set it up. So we were setting it up. And then, so a few days later, I come home. Or I'm on my way home. Okay, so a few days later, I'm on my way home from church because I'm doing the haunted house setup thing. And then my sister calls me. And she's like, Ate, did you bring juice into your room? I was like, no, I haven't even been home. I'm not home yet. Why? So I get home and I'm like, my entire family is outside my house. Like when I say my entire family, I mean my entire family. Like my mom's side and my dad's side, they were all standing outside my house. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I see my uncle like come out with my, I don't know who, was he with my dad? He was with somebody. But my uncle came down the stairs holding a flashlight. And he was like, it's empty. I'm like, what happened? And then they like fill me in and I look on the ground. Right at our front porch, you see red dots on the ground. And I mean, like, I don't mean, they like straight up look like these dots, but like in a row. Like perfect circles, dude. They don't look like drips. They look like circles. Like, honestly, they're probably this big too. So the dots were this big. And they were starting at my porch. So from the first step, well, my porch only has the one step, I think. So on the first step, there's like a circle. And then leading to the door, circles on the floor. Then you go inside the house, and there's circles on the floor. Leading to the kitchen, going up the stairs. And it's on every single step. Perfect circles, equally spaced apart, going up the steps on every step. So then you go into my house, you go into the kitchen, turn right, go up the stairs, and then at the top of the stairs, they turn and they go into my parents' room. So you follow the circles into my parents' room, open the door, it's still going. So now we're going to my parents' room. And then you turn again into the master bathroom, and there's still circles on the floor until we reach the walk-in closet. So I'm editing the video right now, and I just realized I forgot to tell you guys what the dots on the floor were. So the dots on the floor were circles of my grandma's lipstick, like drawn in a perfect circle. And it was actually my aunt who realized it because she used to do my grandma's makeup every day. So yeah, she knew that it was her lipstick, and yeah. So at the walk-in closet, it stops. Like you open the door, there's no more circles. You know why? Because the door to the walk-in closet in my parents' bathroom is mirror doors. Sliding mirror doors. And if you know about mirrors, you know they're portals to the other side. Yeah, so mirrors are portals to the other side. So basically, that's where she crossed over, I guess. Yep. So she went through that mirror. And, other stuff happened too. Like, can I say, okay, honestly, I'm gonna just say it, even though I didn't experience it. But, yeah, this is the one story that's not mine that I'll tell you. So, my dad and his siblings, every time they wear white, like during this 9-day period, they would get like random rust stains on their clothes. Like, we don't know where it would come from because none of us were like working in construction or whatever. But for some reason, whenever one of them wore white, they would get rust stain on their clothes. Until the last person that got it, my aunt, she was the one who was taking care of my grandma before she passed. She got a rust stain on her shirt that was the shape of a hand. Yo, dude, I'm not making this up. She got a tiny little old lady hand on her shirt, like on the back of her shirt. And then that's when everyone got freaked out. So everyone, like, as if everything else that was happening wasn't freaky enough, that was the freakiest thing, because you know that the ghost touched you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can see stuff happening, but nothing's happening to you, so it's fine. But like, once it like interacts with you and like touches you, bro, we got so scared. So we talked to our local priest, and then he said, yeah, that's basically just her letting you guys know, like, she's saying goodbye. Like, yeah, she's just saying that, don't forget me, I love you, goodbye. But then he said if things keep happening, then we should tell him again, and then the whole process would happen. But no, after that, that was it. So yeah, it was really just her saying her final goodbyes to us. Oh my gosh, I think that's it for this house. So the most recent thing that happened, I think, was in 2016. And this experience, it wasn't really paranormal. So I was just editing this video and I realized that my camera had actually stopped recording in the middle of this last story. Like, anyway, so I'm going to finish this last story again. I will tell you the story again. So, in 2016, me and my girls' choir that I was in, called the Sincerity Girls Ensemble, we went on tour in Europe. So we went to Spain, Portugal, and France. And since we were on tour, we were only staying at each hotel like 1 or 2 nights. Thank goodness, because there's no way that I would have stayed in this hotel more than 1 night. So, me and my roommate Francine, we went into our hotel room, and the second we walked in there, we immediately had bad vibes. I don't know what it is about it, but like, we knew that there was something crazy going on in that room. It was creepy, dude. So we decided we weren't going to sleep in our room that night. So we went to our sister's room because our sisters were roommates. And then we went into our sister's room and we hung out there for a while. And like, dude, let me tell you. You know how every story starts out? It was a dark and stormy night. It was a dark and freaking stormy night. So it was crazy. So we were like hanging out there because we couldn't sleep. We had jet lag. And then we kept getting noise complaints. So me and Francine decided, yeah, we should probably head to our room so we stopped bothering our neighbors and stuff. So me and Francine decided to sleep in our room that night, and we just went straight to sleep because we were too scared to like hang out in there. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up because the power went out. I don't know why my brain decided to wake up when the power went out, because then I just got more scared to know that the power was out and all the lights were off, and I was really scared. But nothing happened. I fell back asleep. But the next morning, we went out. Or the next morning, we woke up, and as we were dressing up for the day, I noticed that on the full body mirror, there were handprints on it. And in the middle was a smiley face. So I was like, hey, Francine, wouldn't it be funny if we couldn't wipe this off? And she'd be like, haha, yeah. So we tried to wipe it off, right? Dude, it would not wipe off. The fingerprints didn't even smudge. Like, take a towel, wipe it, nothing. Paper. Water in the towel, nothing. Soap and water on the towel, nothing. Dude, whatever we tried, nothing would rub those fingerprints or that smiley face off the mirror. You know why? Because it was drawn on the other side of the freaking mirror. If I didn't tell you before, or if you didn't believe me before, believe me now when I tell you that mirrors are portals to the other side. Because whatever was on the other side was messing with us and drew a smiley face because it knew it scared us. So, yep, that's it. That's it for my stories. I hope you enjoyed this story time. If there's anything you want to hear about, I'm pretty sure I have a lot of stories about a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know how you would know what my stories are, but if there's anything you guys want to hear or anything you want to see on this channel, just comment down below. Just comment down below. I will see what I can do, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, bye!